On this F150 P0601 in the RFA is an internal control module memory checksum fault. In plain terms, the remote function actuator module failed its own internal memory check. A truck with this kind of RFA fault may have phone as a key, passive anti-theft, remote function, or start authorization concerns, or it may only have the code stored. At a high level, the possible fault area is the RFA module itself, along with any applicable forward service action that specifically addresses the concern. Treat this as a module-level diagnosis, not a normal sensor circuit fault. For RFA P0601 41, the directed diagnostic path is pinpoint test H. Start there, and keep the job focused on confirming whether the RFA module repeats its internal memory fault after the module is cleared and tested. Use a forward-capable scan tool, get into the RFA module, and clear all RFA module diagnostic trouble codes. The point here is to reset the module's stored fault information before you judge whether the internal fault is still active or repeatable. After the RFA codes are cleared, run the RFA module self-test. Now watch whether the internal RFA fault returns, or whether a related internal RFA module fault is present after the self-test. Keep the related codes as context only. The diagnostic decision is whether the module is still reporting one of those internal faults after a clean, clear, and self-test cycle. If the internal RFA fault is present after the self-test, check for any applicable TSB, GSB, SSM, or FSA that addresses this exact concern. If one applies, stop this path and handle that first. If nothing applies to this concern, the directed repair is to install a new RFA module. If the internal RFA fault is not present after clearing the codes and running the RFA self-test, the system is operating correctly at this time. Do not force a module replacement from history alone if the directed self-test does not reproduce the fault. Keep verification separate from the test decision. After any action taken, verify the repair by confirming the RFA self-test completes and the code stays gone. The takeaway is simple. For P0601 in the RFA, follow pinpoint test H, clear the RFA codes, self-test the module, check for applicable forward service action if the internal fault returns, and only then follow the directed RFA module repair path. For more diagnostic training, visit stepdiagnostics.com.